So actually I am talking about tariff and quota, okay, and about the equivalency aspect of tariff and quota. So in the previous lecture, I talk about equivalency aspect of tariff and quota, okay. So this is what I have done. So you have commodity X, and this is a passing equilibrium setting, price of X, okay. This is demand for this commodity. This is supply of this commodity, okay. Okay. And we have one price. So this is free trade price, okay. So this is the quantity supply domestically, and this much is the demand. So this much is imported, okay. So I said that that's 100% tariff is imposed, okay. So price is double because this is ad valorem tax. So price will be double. If this is 2 rupees, price will double to 4 rupees, okay. So price become 4 rupees. So this is one price plus tariff. I write PT for that thing, okay. So this is the import amount that we have. This is the quantity supplied domestically, and this is the quantity demanded domestically. This much is the demand at this price, and this is domestically supplied. So in case of tariff, this is my import, okay. And in the example I say this is 30, okay, the example that I have done. Also, when I am doing quota in a static market condition, okay, that means market condition is not changing. That means one price is not changing, the demand for goods is not changing, okay, because income of the people of the country is given, taste and preference is not changing, domestic cost of production is not changing, okay. So we are considering static market condition, okay. So this is the import that we have when I have put tariff of 100%. So price become 4, okay. In the case of quota, okay, I talk the same thing, okay. So let's put quota of 30, okay. That means quantitative restriction, quantitative restriction I put of 30, okay. So in that case also we get the same result. Now one thing that we need to know, okay, what is the nose here, okay. So like I give you number, this time I am giving you A, B, C, D, then you can write in the examination, it will be easier to do it, okay. So this is above supply curve. A, B represent gain in producer surplus, okay. And this area, just look at this part, okay? This part, okay. This part is nose in consumer surplus. Why? Look at this graph. This is consumer demand curve. This is one price. This is the quantity demanded, okay. This QD, okay. What is consumer surplus? Area below the demand curve and above price level. On this is your consumer surplus. So once I put tariff, okay, this area is nothing but this area. So this is nose in consumer surplus on this area, okay. So my nose in consumer surplus is this A, B, C, D, E, okay. So just write down A, B, C, D. I am explaining what it is. So nose in consumer surplus is A plus B plus C plus D plus E. Okay. So this is my nose in consumer surplus. Okay. Now, what is gain in producer surplus? At one price, producer is producing here. Okay. Now, producer is producing more. This is the price level. So this is gain in or increase in producer surplus, AB. So increase in producer surplus is A plus B. Okay. Increase in government tax revenue is this one, if you remember correctly. So increase in government revenue is this D. I have been left with these two triangles, C and E. This is cost to society, deadweight loss. Okay. So just see ABD, ABD. So C and E is cost to society. Okay, and this is welfare loss. Okay, that is why in both cases, okay, what we see is that there is a loss of welfare in the country. Okay, but then why we do protection? Why we have tariff? Why we have quota? Okay, the argument is that it is not because of government revenue. Okay, this government revenue is what? A plus B. This is nothing but transfer of consumer surplus, right? I am just transferring this consumer surplus to this D. Okay, I am just transferring consumer surplus to government. Okay, when government is collecting the revenue. At the same time, there is a transfer of surplus A plus B to the producer. Okay, so transferring surplus to the government is not important. The important thing is that we want to protect our industry. Okay, we want our industry to grow. Okay, this is in fact industry argument. Okay, that in the world market, okay, they are already existing industry, okay, that have good technology. Okay, they can produce good cheaper. If we are not providing support to our industry domestically, okay, then what will happen? They cannot compete. So we need to provide protection so more producer can produce output. Okay, that is why protection is provided. Then the argument is which one is better, tariff or quota? Okay, in a static market condition, both are giving us the same result. Okay, but when market condition changes, which one is better? That is what we are going to look today. Okay. So in a static market condition, your demand condition not changing, supply condition not changing, one price is not changing. Okay. So when I am talking about changes in market condition, that means there is change in demand or change in domestic supply or change in one price or any three combination. Okay, or a combination of any of the three. Okay, so that is going to happen. Then which one is better? Okay, better means which is more protective? Tariff is more protective, okay, or quota is more protective. Okay, it means that when there is a change in market condition, okay, in which one import will not increase. Okay, if suppose demand increases and your import also increases, okay, in any of these two, if import increases, your demand increases, that means that measure is not protective. Okay, the measure will be protective. Why I am putting quota or tariff? Because I want to protect my domestic industry. Okay, in order to protect my domestic industry, I am using this tool. This is tariff. Okay, and this is not non-tariff barrier. Okay, quantitative restriction that I am putting up. Okay, so first let me look at demand. Okay, suppose, okay, night what? Just 1 minute. Suppose in domestic country, okay, income of the people increases, or there is a change in taste and preference, and more people start to prefer this commodity X. Okay. So this is your demand curve for X commodity. This is price of X, and this is supply curve commodity X. Okay, and you have one price, say this one. Even if you use the same pen, this is one price, and this is price with tariff. Okay, so this is the amount of tariff. So this is price with tariff, and domestic production is this much. Okay, but at this price, demand is this much. QD. So how much you are importing? You are importing this much amount. Okay, this is the case you have in case of tariff. Okay, this much is the amount of import. You can see it. Difference between quantity demanded at this price and quantity supplied domestically. This much is the import. say 30 like the previous example. So in case of tariff, when I am using price measure, okay, that means I am putting ad valorem tax, where when price is 2, I put 100% tax, the price increases to 4, okay, and the quantity that I am importing is 30, okay. Similarly, in the case of quota, okay, let's assume that we impose a quantitative restriction. So I am comparing both side by side, okay, which is 30. So this is a static condition that we have done previously, okay. Now I am saying that suppose there is an increase in demand, domestic. Why in the domestic country demand will increase? Because suppose income of the consumer increases. When income increases, people will demand more goods, or given the income, people want to consume more of this X commodity. Okay? So this demand curve shift to the right. Say dx1. Okay, and consider this to be a small country, because in case of small country, when demand increases, price will not change. One price will not change. Okay, one price will remain the same. So even after putting tariff, this is the price. At this price, this country, whatever they are demanding, okay, it will be automatically supplied in the one market. Okay, so this is the one price or one supply with tariff. Okay, this is one supply, you have to tariff of this much amount. Okay, this is one price plus tariff. Okay, and this is your quantity demanded. So here your quantity demanded increases to from QD to QD prime. Your supply is not changing, domestic supply. Okay, what is happening? You are demanding before this much. Since demand increases, you are demanding more. So that means you are importing this much amount more. Before you are importing this much. In case of tariff, now you are importing this much. So in case of tariff, okay, when demand increases, let me close the window. Okay. In case of tariff, when demand increases, okay, what is happening? Price is not changing. Okay. Second thing is happening is quantity demand increases, domestic quantity supply not increasing, your import is increasing. So I have changed the market condition, okay, where I have increased the demand. Okay, what is happening in case of tariff? Import is increasing from this much to this much. So import increases by how much? QD prime QD, this much. Okay, so tariff is not going to help here. In case of quota, what we are saying that quantity, this is quantitative restriction. Quantity is fixed. Quantity is fixed. Okay, to 30. So if there is an increase in demand domestically, okay, it has to be supplied by domestic producer. Okay, so when domestic producer will supply, what will happen? Let's look at here in this graph. Okay, so let me use this blue pen. So this is what I have in quota case also. We start from the same position. Okay, so domestic demand increases. How much domestic supply will increase? If you remember, this is the supply curve going like this. So I will take same distance. I am taking it up here. Okay, this distance will remain the same. So I will look at supply. This is the point of domestic supply. Okay, this distance is same as this distance. Okay, so domestic supply will increase to QS prime. Okay, and this much is the amount of import, 30 unit. This much amount. Okay, so what in the case of quota, you just write the argument. It will be sufficient. Okay, so what is happening is that your demand is increasing. Okay, but price is also increasing in quota. Okay, so in case of quota, quantity demanded increases. Okay, here this is the point, but less than the increase in tariff. Second case, domestic production also increases from QS to QS prime. Okay, from QS to QS prime. This is QS prime QS. Okay, quantity, then your import is not increasing, import is given. Okay. So here, when demand increases, what we see is that quota is more protective. Okay. So in case of increase in demand, okay, which one is more protective? Quota is more protective. Why quota is more protective? Because quantity is fixed. So when quantity is fixed, amount that I am importing is fixed. Okay. So if there is an increase in demand, who will supply that thing? Okay. Given the supply is fixed. Okay. At a given price, supply is fixed from domestic producer, and from outside also I fix it. If demand is greater than supply, what will happen? Price will increase. So when price will increase, okay, more domestic producer will produce. Okay. So domestically quantity supply will increase. Okay. At the same time, when price increases, there will be some shortfall in demand. There will be some decrease in demand. Okay. But overall, what we will see is that there is an increase in demand. Okay. Increase in production given the import, and this is more protective. Quota is more protective than your tariff. Okay. In case of tariff, there is a relationship between one price and tariff. Okay. So when the one there is an increase in demand, okay, given the one price, because this is small country cannot influence the one price. Okay, what will happen is that you are directly importing whatever there is extra increase in demand. So your quantity supply domestically not increasing. Okay, so it is not going to protect domestic industry. Okay, when there is an increase in demand in a dynamic framework. Okay, so in case of increase in demand, okay, the import competing industry will argue that we should have quota. Okay, we should not have tariff. Okay, this is the first case. I will give you a summarize also. No need to worry. Argument is important. When you remember the argument, it will be okay. So, quota is better than tariff. So, first case we have seen that when demand increases, okay, in the case of quota, quantity is restricted, okay, but in case of tariff, okay, what happens is that at that price level, when demand increases, at this price level, when demand increases, I am importing that much amount from outside. So import is increasing. So tariff turn out to be less protective. Okay. So when demand increases, quota is more protective than tariff. So this is true. In the case of reverse, when demand decreases, what will happen? Tariff is more protective than quota. Okay. You can look at this sign. You have to remember the argument, then it will be okay. Okay, second case. So I am now, what I am doing, I am increasing supply. Okay. So supply increases, what will happen? Okay. This is your demand curve. This is your supply curve. This is one price. This is with tariff. Okay. So this is quantity supply, this is quantity demanded, and this much is import. Same argument. We start from static condition. Okay. And this is 30, suppose. Okay. So when supply increases, say is increased by this much amount. Okay. So whatever I am importing, okay, in case of tariff or in case of quota, okay, because what can be the reason for increase in supply? Suppose cost of production domestically decreases, then this supply curve shift to the right, this one, okay, Sx prime. So look at this here, demand is equal to supply, right? So what is happening is that when supply increases, in case of tariff, okay, first talk about tariff, okay, quantity supply is increasing. This is domestic supply curve. Why? Because cost of production has reduced. So domestic production increases, quantity supply increases. Okay. At the same time, whatever is demanded that I am importing, okay, now it can be produced domestically. Okay. So quantity demanded, okay, that I am importing, okay. This extra quantity demanded, okay. Now extra quantity demanded, now produce domestically, okay. And third thing, import is 0. So tariff look better when supply increases, tariff look better. In case of quota, what problem we have is that domestic supply increases, but there is a fixed quota of 30 unit. Okay, this 30 unit plus domestic supply. Okay, plus change in domestic supply. Okay, so in this case, in the tariff case, this increase in domestic supply is replacing this quota, this tariff, this amount imported. Okay. So in that case, change in supply or increase in supply equal to 30. Okay. So my import is 0. But in case of quota, okay, what is happening is that you have fixed quota that you are getting. There is an increase in supply. So supply overall will be more than demand. So what will happen? Price will reduce. So price will reduce to one price level in this example. Look at the differences. Okay. So what will happen? This will be the quantity demanded, okay. This will be domestic quantity supply because this is the new supply curve, okay. And this is the quota amount that you are importing, okay. So in this case, you are importing. In the case of quota, so when there is an increase in supply, why there is an increase in supply? This is an important argument. Remember, why there is increase in supply? Because cost of production reduces. Domestically, there is an increase in supply, okay. So in case of tariff, there is a direct relationship between price and quantity, okay. Domestic price and quantity and international price and quantity. So domestically you are able to provide this much amount that you are importing, okay. So your import will become 0. But in the case of quota, okay, you have given the license, okay, so you have to import that amount. So here, in case of increase in supply, tariff is more protective than quota. In case of increase in supply, tariff is more protective than quota. Tariff is greater than quota, means tariff is more protective than quota. Then in case of decrease in supply, quota is more protective than your tariff. Okay. So when you have to, they will ask which one is better, okay, out of tariff and quota. In the case of demand case, okay, you can remember only one case, okay. Okay, I will discuss that later on. So let me do one more thing, then I will do it. Okay. So let's look at one price. Because we have three things that we have to look at. Now, in case of price of one, say increases or increases, okay, and price of one decreases, what will happen? Okay, say here price of good X, this is X, this is demand of X, this is supply of X. Okay, suppose overall in the world, okay, there is a decrease in cost of production on around the world. Okay, so on around the world, there is a decrease in cost of production. Okay, so when there is a decrease in cost of production, this is one price. Okay, based on this one price, you have put equivalent amount 100% tariff, say to 4 rupees. This is price after tariff. This is 2. So suppose there is a decrease in cost of production, one price gone to 1 rupee. Okay, say one price time is 1 rupee. Then you are putting 100% tariff, so your tariff will also fall. Okay, so it becomes this 9, suppose. Okay, now this is price with tariff. Before you are producing here with tariff, now you are producing here. So domestic production reduces from here QS to QS prime. At the same time, what is happening is that this is previous price with tariff. So this is the demand. Okay, now domestic demand increases from QD to QD prime. Okay, so in this case, what is happening is that your import when one price is falling, okay, your import is going to increase. Domestic production is reducing. Why? When price fall, okay, quantity supply will reduce. Domestic production is reducing. Okay, when price fall, quantity demand will increase. Okay, so in case of tariff, what will happen? Import amount will be increasing. Okay, but in case of quota, this is not going to happen. Because in quota, quantity that you are importing is fixed. Okay, so when there is a fall in one price, okay, it is not going to affect domestic price because quantity that you are importing is fixed. Okay, so in case of falling price, quota is more protective than tariff. So quota is more protective than tariff, and in case of increase in price, this will be the case. Okay, so what we have seen it, rather than looking at this complex picture, look at this thing in a simple way. Okay, just give one argument, then it will be okay. Increase in demand, decrease in supply, or decrease in one price. Okay, so you have to write answer based on this chart. Okay, this box that I am giving. So quota is better than tariff. In all of the three cases, quota will be better than tariff. Okay, so I am using only one side argument, so it will be easy to write. Okay, so if they ask which one is better, quota or tariff. Okay, so when there is an increase in demand, okay, just remember the argument. When there is an increase in demand, just remember simple demand and supply curve. Okay, in the quota, what you are importing is fixed. Okay, but in the tariff, it is not fixed. Okay, given the one price level, okay, demand is going to increase, and domestic producer is not able to one price not tariff. Just put it. Okay, so domestic producer is not willing to provide more than this much amount. So you have to import that amount. So tariff is not that much protective. Quota is protective. Okay, but in the case of quota, what happened? Price will increase. Okay, little bit price will increase, but it is more protective. Okay, and the reason for protection is that we want to protect our infant industry or sunrise industry. Okay, because in the one market they just set up. Okay, they cannot compete with the own industry that are there already in the market. Okay, so this will happen. Decrease in we'll say supply. Okay, so in case of increase in supply, what we see is that when supply increases, okay, what happened? The reason is decrease in cost of production. Okay, so when domestic supply increases, okay, if you have import quota, okay, who will be providing? Who will be providing this much amount? Who will be consuming this much amount? Sorry, who will be consuming this much amount? Okay, so this much amount must be consumed domestically. Look at this graph. This is demand curve, this is supply curve, this is price with tariff. Okay, suppose this is increasing. Okay, so in case of quota, okay, quantity is fixed. Okay, so when domestic supply increases, that means cost of production decreases, that means price will decrease domestically. Okay, but if quota number is fixed, that will be supplied by domestic producer. Okay, in case of tariff, okay, what will happen is that the benefit will not go directly to the producer in case of increase in supply. Okay, so when there is a decrease in supply, quota is better than tariff. This is the case. Third, you have decrease in price level. So when one price decreases, okay, domestic supply will decrease, domestic demand will increase, so import will increase in case of tariff. Okay, in case of quota, amount is fixed what you are importing. Okay, so quota is better than tariff. Okay, so when market condition changes, we see that when we look at increase in demand, decrease in supply, or decrease in one price level, quota is better than tariff. Okay, and you reverse the case, then tariff will be better than quota. Okay, given the agreement like GATT in the one system and one trade organization agreement, okay, they want country to follow tariff. Okay, because in tariff you have link between one price and domestic price, so it creates less inefficiency. Quota what Quota do is that it disassociate your domestic price with the international price. Okay, so it create inefficiency. Okay, this is important argument. They will ask differences between tariff and quota. Okay, so in the case of tariff, okay, there is a association with a domestic price and international price. But in the case of quota, okay, there is a disassociation between both of them. Okay, quota is quota is more kind of when you put quota, you know exactly how much quantity you are reducing. Okay, but in case of tariff, okay, it will be in some range, not properly. Okay, that is the case. In case of tariff, government is able to raise revenue. Okay, in case of quota, it depend on, okay, what government want. Okay, if it is on first come first serve basis, okay, then maybe you are creating a monopoly. Those who have license, that person have monopoly, or that producer have monopoly, okay, over the imported commodity that we are doing. Okay, but in case of tariff, there is no such monopoly. Revenue is directly going to the government. Okay, so this is the differences of comparison that you have between quota and tariff. Okay, related to infant industry argument. Okay, so in case of infant industry argument, okay, so when you give protection, okay, to the domestic industry, so what they will do, the firm that are inefficient, look at this graph. So this is domestic demand curve, this is domestic supply curve. Okay, this is the one price, this is the, all these producer, okay, are efficient, they are able to compete in the one market. Okay, but there are other also sunrise industry, okay, that want to be participating in the economy. Okay, but at this price they are not able to compete. So government put tariff or quota restriction, whatever, okay, on this producer able to produce. Okay, so even though the cost of production is high, there is a wastage of resource. Okay, initially, because they don't have the technology, they don't have the knowledge how to produce that efficiently. Okay, cost of production is high, there is a wastage of resource. If you remember, this much is the amount of wastage of resource through production. Remember second lecture that we have done. Okay, but look at in a dynamic framework. If suppose this firm, okay, are able to get efficiency, okay, productive efficiency, that means they are able to reduce the cost, okay, and able to increase the supply or produce more. Okay, so what they are able to meet the import requirement, right? They are able to meet the import requirement, but at the same time you have cost in terms of loss in consumer happiness. Okay, that is why policy people suggest that government should give subsidy. Government should give subsidy, not put a tariff. Okay, because tariff create welfare loss to the economy, like we have done it and see it, welfare loss. Okay, and why am I talking about tariff? Okay, because I talked already that in new one setup. Okay, the agreement that we have previously it did get. Okay, then we have one trade organization agreement. Okay, where they ask country to prefer, okay, tariff protective measure, not quota. Okay, they will not want you to use quota protective measure, they want you to use tariff protective measure. So more or less every country is using tariff as a protective measure. Okay, that is why I'm talking about tariff. So in case of tariff, okay, given this market condition, okay, given that it is a exogenous thing, right, one organization, we have to follow this thing. Okay, so right now more or less every country is largely following tariff. Okay, so how I can protect my domestic industry? Okay, argument is that put the tariff, if you increase the price, then this much of infant industry or sunrise industry can produce domestically and domestic output increases. Okay, so they will get some time period to make improvement, to reduce their cost. Okay, when they reduce their cost, supply curve will shift rightward. Okay, so what will happen? We can reduce our import, okay, systematically, and our industry will be able to compete with the industry around the world. Okay, but given this argument, we have to wait cost benefit analysis. We have welfare loss. how long we will take to make this benefit announcement happen. Okay, so the argument that is presented is that why need to put tariff? Okay, give the subsidy. Okay, subsidy will do the same thing also. If the cost of production is high, give the firm subsidy. Okay, they will produce that thing. Okay, and you subsidize raw material, net cost, other thing you can subsidize. Okay, then you can make the reduction in cost. Then they can produce this much amount. Okay, then there is a production externality happening in the country. Okay, based on that also there is a argument that there is a production externality that is distorting the production. Okay, and increasing the cost, that also needs to be taken care of. Okay, this is what we have in the third unit. Okay, basically there is one little bit argument about IMF thing. Okay, that I will finish the slide. Just wait for a minute.